Yeah, good morning children. How are you all? Hope you all are safe at home. Okay, today we are going to learn about information and communication technology. So, information and communication technology in various sectors we are using that. So, in government purpose or for educational purpose or for business purpose to communicate with each other, okay, we will use this one. And to communicate with others, we use some social networks like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and we can send messages. We can chat with each other. Messages we can send. We can do the video conferences. We can we can chat with each others. Okay, so all these are uses of this internet information and communication technology. So it includes the applications or some devices like radios, televisions, okay, and the smartphones, satellite resources. All those it includes. Through the network only we are communicating. If you have the internet, then only you can communicate with each other, or you can use the different websites, and we can use it for online shopping. So you can search in websites you can search the products and you can buy it through the credit cards or debit cards or cash on delivery also we can buy. So and online banking also we can do the money transactions to each other through e-banking, electronic banking, and we can learn through online. So online you can do the courses, you can learn, and distance studies, distance learning. So like that we can learn through online using this information and communication technology. So and next, so government uses to create their websites and to provide the services to the citizen, and we can use those websites, use those portals to pay the taxes, and they will provide us the transportation, health, and some roads like that. So transportation means roads, railways, airways, all those it comes from for us. And next one, we can use the information and communication technology for business, e-commerce. So the applications of ICT. So those are e-commerce, e-governance, e-learning. These three are the applications of ICT. So ICT is the umbrella word. It includes all the communication systems, all the information and communication systems, and those devices, services, applications. It includes all those. So it includes the services like broadband, video conferencing. Broadband means which can provide you the internet services. So all those it includes. So what is our lesson name? Information and communication technology, ICT. Information and communication technology. So it includes the applications, devices and services. So it includes, so devices means radio, TV, phones, all those it includes, and the applications. So applications, we can use it for satellite applications, isn't it, applications, and services, broadband services, video conference services. So all this it includes. Okay, we have the applications. It includes the applications like e-commerce, e-governance and e-learning. So applications like, what are the applications of ICT? E-commerce for business, So for in this we have, so next one is B2B, B2C, C2B, C2C. So business to business, business to customer, customer to business, and customer to customer. 4 categories we have in this. So next is E-governance. So this one it is used by the government to provide services to the citizen. So for health care or for transportation, for powers, for those used by the government, and they will provide some web portals to use those. This is for government, provided by government, and they will allot some money in the budget to develop all these softwares, websites. So information and technology branch, for that they will allot some money in the budget. Next, third is e-learning. E-learning means online learning or distance learning for studies. So you can study online. So this is useful for teachers and students. Teachers and students. So in this, so e-commerce we have 4 categories. In e-governance we have some government projects. E-learning we can learn online. So what are the advantages and how many categories? What is the use and what are the advantages and disadvantages of this? We will learn in the system through PPT, PowerPoint presentation. So I made slides about each and every category, each and every application, and with their advantages and disadvantages we will go through it so that you can understand better. Okay. Yeah, good morning children. Today we are going to learn about information and communication technology. Okay. So it includes the communication device or the applications. So radio, television, mobile phones, smartphones, satellite systems, networks. Okay, all those it will include. Various services. So broadband services. Internet we use, no, that one. Video conferencing, e-commerce, e-learning. So it will gather the information and store. It shares the information and distributes the information among the users. People can communicate using the technologies like instant messaging. We will send messages. We use the Google chat rooms, video conferences we use, no? So using through which social networks we use? Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. Using those we can communicate with each other all over the world. So applications, what are the applications? We can use that information and communication technology in education, for business, for healthcare, for agriculture, governance, art, employment, transport, and for space and environment study also we can use that information and communication technology. So advantages, people can communicate through the world, throughout the world, and we can have the possibility of distance learning, and we can pay the bills online, isn't it? Online bill payments, and we can make the reservations, bus reservations, train reservations, aeroplane reservations we can make, and we can pay the taxes, home tax, house taxes are there, no? That also we can pay online. So applying for driving licenses or passports, and online money transactions also we can do, e-banking and online shopping. So you can buy different products by online shopping. Next is what are the disadvantages? So we can have the applications. Advantages we have, but along with that we have the disadvantages. So online frauds. Nowadays many times we are hearing about it. Online frauds. So some hackers will hack our PIN IDs, credit card details, and they can shop with that details. Okay, personal profiles which are kept in the Facebooks or in the WhatsApps, all those they can be misused. Okay, lot of time wastage. So if you are involved in addicted with the messaging or mobile applications or social networking, it wastes your time and it reduces your concentration levels. So next one is electronic commerce. The uses are e-commerce, e-governance, e-learning. About these three we are going to learn today. So e-commerce, it is buying and selling of exchanges of goods and services over computer networks. Through internet, the business will be done. So most effective and efficient way of conducting business. So companies, they will set up their websites and they provide their products details. So consumers whom we can buy, and whatever the desired products we want, those we can buy using credit cards or debit cards, net banking or cash on delivery also we can buy. Next is security measures. So what are the security measures adopted by e-commerce sites are? So only authenticated people can carry the transactions. So controlling access to the resources for registered or selected users. Only some selected users, they can use their resources. So encrypting communication. Encrypting means some code. The information will be converted into some code, and after receiving the message also, after receiving the reply also, it will be converted and displayed. So whenever you see that WhatsApp encrypted, end-to-end encryption is given there. So like that, whatever you send, that will be converted into a code, and whatever they send, that will be converted into a code, and again it is converted. Okay. So ensuring the privacy and effectiveness of the transactions. So categories. What are the categories of e-commerce? So business to business. In that, companies do the business with each other. So wholesalers, they will sell to the retailers, and business to consumer. So businesses, the shops, they will send their products to the general public, like Myntra.com, Flipkart, Amazon, all those. Those are the examples. And we can shop. We can shop online for clothes or footwear, accessories or household items, or you want to book any resorts, all those you can do online. So those business, they will provide us all this to the customers. Okay. Next is consumer to business. So consumer, that means some person, they create or they will make any project, and they will send it on the online, with the price or everything, and who are the interested companies, they can bid on it and they can buy and they can use it. So it is offered as digital middleman. So we can call it as digital middleman also. Consumer to consumer. So individual consumers put their items for sale through auctions or some classifieds or forums. So who are the interested consumers are there, they can purchase those. Other e-commerce categories are G2G, G2A, government to government or government to employee, government to business, business to government, government to citizen, citizen to government. So these we need not to discuss, only those 4 categories we have to learn. So these will include the procurement of items, filling of taxes, business registration, renewal of license, everything. These transactions are to the government. So with the people, citizen to the government, or from businesses to the government, or any employees are to the government. So what are the advantages of e-commerce? So available round the clock. So whole 24/7, those are available. So buying and selling can be done at any place. So wherever you are, if you have the internet access, then you can buy and sell those. Consumers can select the desired products. Whatever the products you want, those you can select. So cost efficient. So next disadvantages are extra security measures have to be taken to avoid the online frauds and misallocation of funds. Okay. Next one, e-governance or electronic governance. So e-governance is by the government to improve its effectiveness, transparency, efficiency, service delivery. So this is used by the government by providing their websites for different uses. Government services are made available to the citizens. So what are the advantages of e-governance? So advantages of e-governance. So it improves the transparency, provides information speedily to the citizens, improves the administration's efficiency. So it improves delivery of public, such as transportation, power supplies or health, about water, security and municipal services. All those it will improve. Next disadvantages of e-commerce are extra security. So e-governance. Disadvantages of e-governance are may get affected by the hackers. Even the government websites also, they may get affected by hackers. Many developing countries may not be affordable for the technology. That means to give the internet connection, the routers, all those, they may not be able to afford all those. So next, some of the e-governance projects across the India are, some are Bhoomi or stamps registration and archiving, or versatile online information for citizen empowerment, e-Seva, Vidya Vahini. So all these are the different projects which are conducted by the Indian government. So you will see those portals, websites also, web portals also. Okay. So they will provide the money from the budget for developing these websites for the software. So e-learning, next one is e-learning. It is the use of electronic media and information communication technology. So to enable people to learn anytime and anywhere, it includes providing the course materials, the trainings, guidance from experts, conducting examinations, online examinations. So it can send the material, the media in a text form, text files or audio, video, images, animations, they can provide. So this e-learning, electronic learning, can facilitate both the teachers and students. So teachers can learn through distance learning, and they can teach the students, and who are working, some students, they can study through the online. Next, advantages of e-learning. So what are the advantages? It can occur in and out of classrooms. With or without the students, they can they can study. Okay, can be done as per the student's convenience. Whenever what are the timings the student is convenient, that time they can select the time slot and they can study there. So can be self-paced, wherever they have the internet facility, from there they can study through distance online reading or distance learning, like that. Next is better visualization and better understanding. So through the media files, some text, video, audio, isn't it? With those files, they have the better visualization and better understanding of the subject. So reduces the travel cost and time. So if some in rural areas or some more distant areas, students, if they can't travel so much distance, that time they can study through the e-learning, so that it makes the time, it saves their time and their cost. Okay. So learners have the option to selecting study material. So whatever the material they want, they have the choice to select the study material. So disadvantages of e-learning. So what are the disadvantages? Students may lack competitive spirit. So only individual is learning. So they don't have to compete with others. So they may lack competitive spirit. So slow or unreliable internet, it may be the hindrance for their learning. Next one, certain vocational or traditional hands-on courses can be difficult. So some courses they have to go there and they have to study. So it can't be learned online. Okay, maybe that is also one disadvantage. So next one, instructor may not be available on demand. So whenever they are free, they can study, but whenever they are free, they can't demand the instructor to teach. Okay children, all these are the advantages, applications of internet, information and communication technology. So we have learned about e-commerce, e-governance, e-learning. So e-commerce for business. Okay, next e-governance is, that is for government. Government, they will implement some projects for the citizens. So e-learning is like distance learning or online learning, and we have discussed all the advantages and disadvantages of these three applications. Okay children, hope you all understood.